Hello, this is Carrie Ann Mermy coming straight from you, straight to you from my usual location. Anyway, I have really no big, huge update. I'm trying to gather my thoughts, but I have no real big thoughts. So I just want to update you, let you know that everything so far, is going well with, the pregnancy and stuff. We did set up a C-section, which now I'm sort of thinking about. So anyway, I have to do some rearranging of my room, or our room, and make room for a crib, because that's where my kids spend the first year of their lives, is with us in our room, because it's just easier and faster to take care of them, their needs, the first year in our room instead of having to go across the hall or whatever. So that would be fun. What else? I went to the address of the county, so the union, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, what it officially is called, but it's basically like the chair of the county commissioners gives an address about, the finances and the good news that's going on in the county. I never really was quite interested in county politics until I got into partner and policy making, when I realized how much they actually have to do with county finances and things. So, so thank you again, Partners in Policy Making, for making me aware of the importance of forming relationships with county commissioners. So anyway, so I went to the union of the address of the county, and I was able to talk to my county representative, who happens to be the chair of the county. So I had written an email to him regarding an issue with my brother, since he also serves, the county is broken into districts, and different cities are in different districts. Anyway, my brother and I share the same county district, so we share the same commissioner. So I emailed the commissioner about my brother's pending issues, and he responded by basically telling me that it was the state that I should be talking to, like the state representatives, in which I responded that although it's nice for him to respond to my email, even though it was like 4 months later, it was quite a bit later. In fact, I had forgotten I had written to him about that. I thanked him for his time and his diligence, and I also told him that although I respectfully disagreed with his commentary, because I know that even though the money comes from the federal or the state units, that the county they're sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? They are like, the county in this instance, in the instance I'm talking about, they are the um, financial foreseers, like the rent payees, if you will. So they were in charge of dispersing money correctly, and they're the fiscal representatives of these waivers. Anyway, so, you know, I emailed him back and never heard back from him. I encouraged him to email me back and set up a meeting, and I'd like to talk more about it in person and try to work something out where we could help each other. So, we never actually, like I said, he never responded to that, to that email exactly. But but anyway, so I addressed the issue at the State of the County address after he was done, and there was mingling time, also known as networking time. So there was time to network, and I took the opportunity to thank him for supporting, continuing to support the Children's Mental Health Collaborative in the county, because I chair a parent portion of that particular collaborative, and without the county's approval of the collaborative, there would be no parent group. So anyway, so I thanked him for that. I went around and thanked the other commissioners too. Most of them were there. But he sits on the Health and Human Services Commission or whatever. So anyway, so that's what I did for one day, and then I think that was Thursday. And then on Friday I went to the Minnesota Department of Education, poster session for the directors of special ed. And so I picked up some information about, for my parents that I have in the Hennepin County group, and then also I sit on my local special ed advisory committee, and we're having our last meeting on Monday for the year, not the last meeting forever, but just for the school year. And so I will be looking forward to sharing some information I learned through MDE, and also by going to the county address, because a lot of people that have special ed services in the school district also have county services. So sometimes, they need PCAs, or they need some sort of help with the county. So I'm excited to share the information I got from both entities. Anyway, so I had a semi-busy week. I also went to the doctors. I got an A-OK report, and for the baby. And then I had to call my endocrinologist because my levels are still pretty high, or were, and they're getting better, but they're not the best. And that partly is because I really like ice cream when I'm pregnant, and that's probably not something I should probably be eating. But I can't seem to stop. So anyway, so I have an appointment with my endocrinologist on Monday, I think, and so I will be going to that. Exciting. Well, I'm sure he will lecture me on healthy eating and responsible insulin taking. I had lost my between the time I had gotten back from my trip and about 2 weeks ago, I had lost my testing kit, and because I know this will sound strange to some people, but because I didn't have my testing kit, I didn't feel good about taking insulin because I didn't know where my levels would be, and I didn't want to give myself too much insulin or too little insulin, and it just had no way of telling the endocrinologist how that affected me. So for those 2 weeks, I just didn't do insulin because I couldn't find my my testing supplies. So anyway, so I had an appointment with my endocrinologist 2 weeks ago, and said, well, I don't have any testing to give you because I haven't been doing it because I lost my testing supplies. So she ordered me a new one, and then the weather got good enough that when I say my family helped me clean my car, my van. So I was able to find my testing supplies. I also found some other things that I didn't know I was missing. So we cleaned my car, and then we also cleaned my husband's car. So yeah, so that was good to get spring cleaning, at least in that area, done. Now I gotta work in the house before the baby comes, because not that it's a horrible mess, it just, because my physical limitations, I have a hard time getting my clothes into my dresser. It's just a lot of physical labor that I can't do. So I gotta just try to do one basket at a time. Currently I have, and I'm looking over there because I have about 3 baskets full of clean clothes that could fit in my dresser drawer if I took the time, if I was able to withhold energy to do so. Anyway, but I regress. And then what else did I do? That's about it. That's all I did this week. Doctor's appointments. I ate lunch with my son, who's in kindergarten. And yeah. So anyway, I'm so glad to be back to my regular routine. We have till the 6th of June for school to end. So after the 6th of June, you may not see too many vlogs from me because I try not to film when my kids are around, because it's just really hard to concentrate, as you might have noticed in my previous video with the outside shot. It's just really hard to concentrate and get my message out there when you have 2 kids needing you or wanting to talk to you or whatever. So anyway, so that's it. I thank you again for watching this video. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and leave them below, or in the private message, and I will respond as soon as I can. Thanks for understanding why I can't post every day like I want to. And thanks for all the support and encouragement that you all give me. hope that your next week is a good one. Oh, before I leave you for the evening, a person I know from my church passed away not this Thursday, I think last Thursday. Anyway, she passed away from natural causes. And we had lived in the same community, in the same apartment building, her and my family. And I got to know her as she was converting into my religion. And so I went over with the sisters and visited with her and just talked about the gospel and just, befriended her. And so a lot of times I would just go over because she was just down the hall from me. And so I got to know her pretty well. And she passed away, and it's sad news. But in a way it's happy because now she gets to start the second, or maybe the third. Anyway, in my religion we believe that you have a before life, before birth life, and then you come down and you have this life, and then you go back and you have another life, sort of. Anyway, it's very confusing, and it's too late to get into biblical conversations. So anyway, so I hope that her family, she has a daughter, and I hope her daughter's okay with everything, and her daughter knows that we, the community, the church, are there for her and her family. I'm going to try my hardest to make her funeral. I have a busy docket next week, so we'll see. But it's sort of hard when people die, especially people that you've befriended and really care for. And anyway, so sorry to end on a sad note, but that's sometimes reality is that you have your ups and you have your downs and you have your mediums and whatever. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Tune in next time for another segment of Carrie Ann Rummy. Have a good night. Bye bye.